Do we have a treat today? Looking across the marina for the last couple months, we've seen this Leader or Cap Camarat 10.5 by Jeanneau, really about the same hull as our 10.95. Excited to go tour it, take a look at it. Starting at the stern, you see we got the twin 425 Yamahas. It's a great amount of power. Cruising's about 35 miles an hour on this boat. It's a deeper V. It's 21 degrees on the dead rise, so it can really take some of those seas and handle that. And it's got the power to push through that. You can get a top end of up to 50 miles an hour with these boats or with these engines. But you got the power in the back, and you can see the swim platform over on the side. There's nice swim platforms that are extended on both sides to the aft to allow access off the boat. Come on into the cockpit area where kind of the boat's centered around. 10.5 is really built around this entertaining area, and it starts with this galley. It's really well laid out. It's in the center of the boat. You've got the cup holders, 2 on each side, and when you flip this up, you've got the electric grill. You've got your freshwater sink, mirrored surfaces, and a prep area. Down below, you've got the fridge, you've got the drawers, you've got storage. So we have space, and some of that storage, of course, is where things fall out. But you have the real space to entertain in this central part of the cockpit. This galley is really built around this area for entertaining, so it really maximizes the space. But another feature that you see in this galley is the quality of this build. The 10.5 Series 2 sees a lot of what we've seen in other Jeanneau Series 2, is they identify a problem and rectify it. Another element that's very evident is the upgrades to these pylons. This is a very strong, sturdy support for the T-top, stainless steel. It's really good looking, but it's also really strong and sturdy. You've got the handrails around, so it's very accessible, easy to move around. Again, built for being out on the water with friends and being able to get around and move around. One of the things that Jeanneau's done with this is you have the seats that can fold away, so that the seats folded and stowed, or they're pulled back to fit more people on. There can be a cockpit table here on the deck with either a dual level set of legs that allow a sun pad or fixed legs that are removed for storage. There's plenty of seating around the cockpit table for guests. Got the nice versatility of the benches on both sides that fold out. Here on the port side, with a little lift, it comes out. But you've got this great seating on both sides of the boat. Really great versatility with the benches that can either stow away if you need the open space or open up if you have more people on board. So it's really nice. It also keeps the cushions stowed and clean. Feature we're seeing more and more on boats are these side platforms, the swim platforms. They give you great accessibility to the water, whether you're going to go scuba diving, swimming. If you want to enjoy the water sports, it's lowered by hand, so it's got a windlass inside and a pulley system held in place by these lines here. Can hold about 350, 400 pounds, but it's also really nice kind of extension of the space, really reinforces that day boating experience you're able to get. Another one of those features I'm a little jealous that I don't have on my boat, the 10.95. In the center of the cockpit is this large access hatch to the lazarette. That houses the 3.8 kilowatt generator. There's access to the through-hull fittings, batteries, fuel tanks, as well as additional storage. Before we move to the rest of the boat, the last feature to highlight in the cockpit is the sunshade. This extends from the hardtop with a switch at the helm. This extends all the way to the rear benches to cover the whole cockpit in shade. I was surprised to learn it's designed for use underway and provides shade from that summer sun kind of anytime. If you have any questions about the Leader or Cap Camarat 10.5 Series 2, ask them in the comments. We'll try and get you an answer. And if you enjoy this tour, subscribe to Echo Zulu Cruising for more great content. Stick around. There's a lot more to see, including the bow area, the helm, the Salon, and our evaluation who will love this boat. But first, the details. The Leader 10.5 or Cap Camarat outside the US costs about $400,000 with options depending on your engines. It's a day boat or express cruiser weekender that's built around this exterior galley, large cockpit, and the forward sun pad. Inside are air-conditioned accommodations, including a salon, an interior galley, a separate master cabin or cabin, as well as a head with a shower and toilet combo set separate from the sink. There's a length of 35 feet 10 inches or 10.93 meters, a draft of 2 foot 5 inches or 0.73 meters. It weighs 10,560 pounds or 4,790 kilograms, has fuel capacity of 212 gallons, 400 liters, and water capacity of 42 gallons or 160 liters. So one of the things I'm a little jealous of with my 1095 is how versatile this cockpit is and how large this cockpit is. It really is an outdoor entertaining space. Let's go check up on the bow to see how that's laid out and some of the features up there. So you can see up in the bow, one, it's a lower walk area. Got the railings all the way on each side. This port side offset, nice feature to give that bigger walkway so you can get forward and aft. You can move on the starboard side, but it's just a narrower walkway. This sun pad is glorious. It's a three-person seat on the sun pad, plenty of space. As you saw, as you can see, it's covered with custom covers when not in use, so the cushions stay in place and they cover them. We've got full depth drink holders, one on each side instead of really shallow ones. This space is really nice. The covers were custom made to cover on this. They don't come standard on the Jeanneau. It's one of those upgrades that were made so you don't have to take the cushions on and off. And this space is really accessible to get up to the ground tackle. That's all up forward in the bow. We've got the windlass control here, as well as at the con steering station, the Lumar windlass, similar on most of the Jeanneaus. What's interesting looking at multiple Jeanneaus is you see the same parts in just a different formation. On the 1095, it's the exact same equipment, the holding tanks, the water heater. It's all the same on board, so it's interesting seeing how those parts are used on a different boat. Let's go on and check the steering station. When you're up here, you've got 3 seats, so you've got plenty of space. You can walk around on either side, so it's really nice. The helm is in the center, essentially down the center line, supposed to offset so you can have people on either side. There's a whole bunch of electronics and systems on here that I'm jealous of, starting with the joystick. You got the joystick steering, fantastic. You got the zip wakes, so you got the stability when you're underway. Those are automatic. And you have the autopilot. So this boat really, not only do you have speed, but you have all the systems that you want to go on a long trip to make it comfortable, so that you're able to stay in control, make sure the vessel's underway, and staying on course. But having those electronics, having the zip wakes and the autopilot really makes those longer trips a lot easier, because you know you're on course. If you need to have someone else watch the helm, you know that you're basically on course and they're staying on the lookout. It's really nicely laid out with everything that you'd want to have on board. Now, if you can see, we've got the isinglass across the front. The windshield on 10.5, it's really for decoration. If there's spray over the bow, it's going to be coming up forward. The wiper is down low, but it's outside your line of vision. So the owners made sure to keep the isinglass on and has modified this isinglass so that you can take it off by installing a zipper. That's not standard, but keeping this in place because of the weather has become kind of the standing operating procedures on their boat. So we've got the sunroof, which really just adds for more airflow when you're underway, particularly if you have your isinglass up. You got to make sure you got the air coming through, but direct access to the sun, or shut it up and protect you from the elements. So this is a really solid steering station. When you think about this boat, it's about the outside in. You've got this great entertaining space outside. You've got the steering station, the helm outside, great access. You can see if anyone's up on the bow, you can see them, and you have that really nice sitting space up forward. So that walk around in the name is really apt. This boat it's not one level, but it's accessible all the way fore and aft, and each side of where you're steering, so it's really usable both to an owner and to guests on board. When you're underway, we also have the hot and cold vents that when you're underway can be blowing the cold air during the summer, hot air during the winter if you have the AC or heat running. So those are functional and are blowing air when you're underway if you want them to be. So you can be controlling temperature even though you're outside. You've got access to that. Can enclose this whole area with the isinglass to protect it from wind and weather during the winter. Those are rolled up now, but that's the outside, really the heart and soul of this boat. This is built for the outside. But let's check out the cabin, because that's what extends this boat from not just, it makes it very different than a center console. You have the space to spend the night on board and the space to get out of weather if you want to. Let's go on down below. When you come down, you got 4 steps down. There's some storage underneath. Down here you also have a cooktop. This is a propane cooktop, so you've got 2 propane burners. The propane is under the seats at the steering station, and you have the small kitchen on board. Really good storage. You got the trash and drawers for storage in the kitchen. You got the microwave down below, the electronics by the door when you enter, and the Dometic fridge. So you have the fridge outside and you have 1 fridge inside. The all important drink storage and some storage above. The forward V-berth, plenty of seating. This seat, the table both can lower and raise and can be turned at an angle, so you can have people sitting around here, probably 6 comfortably. The height's high enough for me to sit at this taper. I'm 5'10", so there's space for sitting comfortably. You can't stand here, and this can also be converted to a berth by lowering this and adding another cushion on here. When you convert this to a bed for the night, if you have more than a couple people on board, it also has a curtain to give some privacy. So both cabins can have some privacy. This comes out, and then the cabin under the steering station also has a curtain in the way, so the galley and the head are accessible, but there's some privacy on board. I have the head, and we have a master cabin. We'll show you that. It's a wet head that has a separate sink and storage in the head. So you have this area out here where you're able to have some storage locker, and then the head, it's a wet head with the toilet down below. You can use the shower here with a door that's going to shut for the shower. So it has access to the shower and the toilet that's separate from here, so you can shower, and there's a drain down in the floor. Towards the aft, the main stateroom, it's always a bed that's made up, and some additional storage back here. So come on back. It's lower headroom, but plenty of space to lay down. When you come into the side, we have a storage locker with hanging on the side. The hot water heater on the side, and then your electronics are all on this side. So they're accessible in a way that's pretty nice. It's you don't have to kind of crawl in the back to get it. Your circuit breaker is also right under this window. On the other side, we also have additional storage. So we got a drawer, and we've got another little storage space. So there's ledges for the phone and storage and lights down below in this cabin. Really comfortable for 2 people when you have that salon area and the sleeping area. A little bit harder if you have more people on board. I'm really impressed with the 10.5. There's some of the finishes that I feel are a little stronger and sturdier than we see on our 10.9.5, and it's just that little kind of evolution in some of the fit and finish. The electronics are also at a higher level. I really like this boat. This is for someone who's looking for that day boating, maybe weekending, not necessarily longer trips out on the water. It's really nicely set up for entertaining. Great entertaining areas at the bow and in the cockpit. It's comfortable then in the salon. It's got a sleeping area for 2 that will be comfortable, and it's got the seating so that you can spend the nights overnight and be out of the elements. But if you're on longer trips, you have to rely on the isinglass. Overall, really nice boat. It's for someone who wants that great day boating experience, have that versatility, and get on the water and really use a boat frequently. I'm gonna keep looking for my next boat. Hopefully you find yours. Until next time, have fun, be safe, and be happy.